What's up? Welcome back to another episode. I think this is on Emmett Douglas Blindside Sports. This is episode 49, and man, do we have a banger episode. I mean, it's going to be a good one. So you might want to tune in for this. We have NFL galore. All right. Now, it's all NFL. I mean, I'm talking, we've got picks. We have a couple NFL stories we want to talk about over here. What else do we have? We have Lamar Jackson. We have a bunch of stuff on the menu. And we're going to be debuting a new segment here on the program called the Blindside Barrel, or the Blindside Bundle. Sorry, a little tired. But you know what this? Hold on, is my mic on? Can y'all hear me? But what this is basically a segment where I'm gonna give you guys a couple NFL picks, and then I'm also going to be giving you guys some of the fantasy players that I like for this week. All right, we're on. Cool. Also, I'm literally going up over to the comments right now, pulling that up. So if you guys have anything to say, be sure to throw it in there. Also on Twitter at EmmettNosey04. I'll be reading your stuff on the air. So if you guys want to tell me that my teeth are bad, or tell me that you're a pumpkin, or tell me that I have Down syndrome, like, these are all true stories, by the way. I'm not making this up. This isn't a joke. Actually, hold on. Maybe I'll show the comments. Okay. Yeah. So you guys can see them. All right. There you go. Hold up. This might get annoying. If that gets annoying, if people start to comment, just let me know. But sorry to the Spotify people and the audio people, because I kind of disappointed y'all. I was trying to post everything. Was having some gremlins. I think I got it figured out, and it was to the point where it was to the point where basically it was even. But thanks for checking the stream out. But it got to the point where it was by the time I was like, oh, I know how to do this. It was too late. The news would be irrelevant from what we talked about, to be posted on a Friday. You guys would just be confused. So, yeah, that's it. But without further ado, let's get into it. I actually want to lead with the divisions that I did not pick, because there were a couple, including, I believe I got everything besides a couple AFC teams, which you guys will know if I got everything when we do the playoff predictions. The official, I mean, it's kind of obvious, what I have picked so far from what I've said, but the official playoff predictions that I will be writing down. All right. But without further ado, let's get into it. With the AFC East left, we have that to pick. And obviously, teams in there are the Bills, who I have winning it. Because, look, Josh freaking Allen is a stud. The Bills, they have a good defense. They have a good coaching staff. Good receivers. All-around good team. So, I have the Bills coming out on top in that one. I think it's pretty obvious, to be completely real with you. It's pretty obvious. The Bills are winning it. Second place, give me the Dolphins. I don't know. I just have a weird feeling about the Patriots, and seeing the Dolphins adding Tyreek in the mix. Just wow. That's something, right? I think that the Dolphins have a really good roster. They've been close to, success many times. But the one question that could come back and screw me over on this pick, the big question, But Tua, right? What are we gonna see from Tua? What are we gonna see, right? Can Tua throw the ball up to Tyreek Hill like, Mahomes can? Will like, how will this affect it, right? There's a lot going on here. Sorry, my things kind of glitching. But like the Dolphins, they have a lot to prove here, but I think the Dolphins are a very capable team of doing it. Mike McDaniel, rookie coach, came from the 49ers, and Kyle Shanahan. I said this on the other episode. I said that Kyle Shanahan creates good coaches, creates good players. So this is definitely a good hire for the Broncos. In third place, give me the New England Patriots. I just haven't seen improvement in their roster for them this offseason. Like the Bills and the Jets, the Bills, the Dolphins, and even the Jets, they made drastic moves. I think the Patriots are still better than the bum-ass Jets, who are in last place in my in the Emmett division ranks here for the AFC East. Patriots, I think they have a good year. I think Matt Jones is going to be solid. Very middle of the road. They're not making the playoffs. They're not doing that. Not a lot of teams but there's not going to be a lot of I feel like there's going to be a couple divisions with multiple teams in the playoffs, which is odd. Next division is one with two, a really good team, a good team, and two stinker teams. Two absolute, you just had Taco Bell and you went to the bathroom level stink teams. All right. This is the AFC South in this division. Why the fuck I'm getting these confused? Hold on. What team is in the AFC South in the NFL? And yes.
Here are the standings for the AFC South for the current season. If you would like, I can also tell you what.
Okay, Texans. Okay, we got. All right. I didn't get confused. I was really worried about that for a second. But first place, this is obvious. I freaking love the Matt Ryan to the Colts move. I think if he was in the NFC, he'd be my Super Bowl pick. But I think the Colts are gonna win the division. I love that team. Super good line. You just freaking paid Quentin Nelson a bag. Best bet with a better lineman in the NFL. Jonathan Taylor, we know what he can do. Matt, the front office actually has a quarterback in there that they like in Matt Ryan. And the thing is with Matt Ryan is I'm so glad to see him on the Colts, man. I really am, because the Falcons, let's just say they weren't ready to win. The Colts, I believe if Carson Wentz didn't gag last year, they would have been they could have done some damage in the playoffs. They have a good defense and all of that. So I like the Colts to come out of that division. I think the Titans are going to have a good year. It's going to be interesting to see what the rookie receivers can do. They're going to be second in that division after losing A.J. Brown to the Philadelphia Eagles. I really like that. I think the Titans, actually, we're not going to spoil it. We have playoff picks. I mean, come on. Yeah. Titans second in the division. Derrick Henry, Ryan. We know what we can get with the team. I just think the Colts are a better team. And it comes down to the AFC is so stacked that the Titans won't make the playoffs, I don't think. I don't think they will. It's so stacked. In third place, we have the freaking Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a very close fight for last, along with the Houston Texans. But the reason that I'm giving the Jags this third spot in the division. What? Okay. The reason I'm giving the Jags this third spot in the division instead of the Texans is Trevor Lawrence is getting a year wiser. You have Travis Etienne, who missed last year due to an injury. You picked up God, this was such a bad contract. You picked up Christian Kirk. You picked up Evan Ingram. The Jags, they're trying. All right. They are trying. The Texans, Davis Mills. I think Davis Mills could have an interesting year, but I still have them being last in the division and one of the worst teams in the NFL, along with the bum-ass Jets and a couple others. But there you heard it. Those are my division picks. Yeah, division picks. Now, let's talk about this Monday Night Football game We're gonna get my pick here for that. So we have to bring out the we have to bring out Siri. All right. So, who's favored in the Seahawks Broncos game?
The odds favor the Broncos over the Seahawks by 6.5 points.
The Broncos are favored in this one by 6.5. All right. I have a bet with one of my friends, so I have to stick with the pick here because I bet $20 on it. We'll see what happens in 2 days. I picked the Seahawks to upset the Broncos. Week 1, you never know what you're gonna get. All right. This is like one of the peak times for upsets. I ain't bet anything on the over/under, but what's the over/under in the Broncos game? I'm probably gonna take the under.
Seahawks game is 44.0.
44.0. Yeah. All right. I'm taking the Seahawks 21, the Broncos 17, and I think the Seahawks, it's going to be all rushing, but we're not here for the pick, right? I mean, the actual game, I mean, it on paper it doesn't look very good, even though I just picked the upset, but in paper it doesn't look very good. But the main question here, in the main storyline, if you're living under a rock, Russell Wilson got traded to the Broncos in the offseason, and obviously Russell Wilson played for the Seahawks. This game is at CenturyLink or Lumen Field. That still throws me off. That game is at Lumen Field, the home stadium for the Seattle Seahawks, and Russell Wilson's returning there. First game like ever on another team besides us is obviously, yeah, he it's the Seahawks. So the main question here is, how will fans react to this Russell Wilson returning to Seattle? Will they boo, or will they, oh my God, Russell, he's back? No, okay, that was really bad. I'm sorry for putting you guys through that level of cringe right there. Okay, I'm really sorry. But yeah, I personally think that it's going to be middle down the road, because being in a couple Seahawks groups on social media and also like knowing Seahawks fans in real life, from everybody I know, it seems very almost split on what people think about Russell Wilson, because I know people who are still Russell Wilson blowhards, but I know people who absolutely despise the guy and are going to boo him. All right. So I personally think there's going to be a mix. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if we saw some like crazy, like boo, like people going crazy, because the way Russ left us was kind of wild, right? Kind of wild. I mean, it's, his personality just starting to become very cringy, and I think that's a lot of it with people, because like, look, I like Russell Wilson as a player, right? Like, I was super, like lucky as a Seahawks fan to have him for as long as we did as our quarterback. But I think people are just starting to get fed up with the crap. So I do think it's going to be both, right? I don't think there's going to be any like dirty plays. Like, I haven't really seen much people talk about that, but I don't think there's going to be much dirty plays. I think it's going to be a pretty fair, clean game. That's one thing that Russell's not like that, like that kind of, person. But I don't think there will be much in terms of the kind of, what's it called here? Like, in terms of the dirty plays, right? Like, I think it's going to be a pretty clean game. I think that Russell Wilson's going to get a fair share of boos and applause. A lot of Seahawks fans, especially with Geno Smith not being like a good quarterback, I think a lot of Seahawks fans are salty. So I'm really excited for this game, even though it's probably a little biased for me to say that I'm a little excited for this game because I'm a Seahawks fan. But man, I'm excited for this game. All right, this is Emmett Douglas walking you into the Blindside bundle. That was game number 1. And let's get over to some fantasy players. All right, some fantasy players that I like this week. Now this is a good one here. I like Jalen Hurts against the Lions. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a very, very kind of good game. Jalen Hurts, I could give you consistent kind of ball out numbers. So that's one player I like for this week. I think he's going to get some of them throwing yards, a lot of those rushing yards. I think the game's going to be closer than you think. Why don't we pick the Lions, Eagles while we're talking about Jalen Hurts? But for Jalen Hurts, you know what you're going to get with him. And with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, there's good receivers. So without further ado, who's favored in the Eagles game?
I'm hearing that the Eagles are favored to defeat the Lions by 5 points.
5 points? I think it will be around that. I think it's going to be a close game, around the 4 to 5 range. In terms of the Eagles, I'm actually not picking team upset there. What's the over-under in the Eagles game?
The over-under for the Eagles-Lions game is 48.5.
48.5 for the over-under? I'm taking the over. We are committing to the over. I will take the Eagles by a touchdown, 35-28. I think there's going to be lots of offensive explosions in this game, by both teams, right? By both teams. I think the Eagles have the upper hand because they are the way better roster. I think the Eagles can make a splash in the playoffs. I really, really do. But 35-28, I think there's going to be, I wouldn't be shocked if each of these quarterbacks end up throwing a pick or two, just due to the fact that Jalen Hurts isn't the best kind of thrower, and Jared Goff is Jared Goff. I wouldn't be shocked if there was a couple turnovers in this game, but not in terms of that. I think Jalen Hurts is gonna have a field day, but with rushing yards, so he's gonna throw the ball decently. 1 or 2 picks isn't for week 1. I mean, you can't really get mad at throwing a pick, but yeah. The next part of the Blindside bundle, as you're unboxing it here, is another fantasy player. We already picked a game for him, but this is a running back for the Seattle Seahawks, and this is Rashad Penny. I'm taking the good faith of his hot ending of last season, and that Geno Smith cannot play quarterback. I'm taking those 2 factors and combining them and saying that Rashad Penny is going to be a very good fantasy pickup this week. Unfortunately, I was not able to get him in any of my leagues. I'm in 2 leagues this year. But I can tell you, if he's on your free agent or waiver wire, or it is relatively easy to trade for him, or you have him on your team, trust me, you're going to want to start him. You're going to want to start him because I don't know if I could trust Geno Smith to throw the ball. And that's why I'd stay away, at least from this first week, maybe, unless you have really big balls and you're confident in your team, to stay away from Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf and Noah Fant. Just to see how it goes with Geno Smith. He doesn't really throw for much. So I think it's going to be, the offense is going to be majority rushing. So that's why I feel confident in saying Rashad Penny will be a very, very, very good pick for you guys. Now, we are unwrapping more of this big old bundle of Blindside sports picks and things that we like. All right. This next one here is a game, and Chargers Eagles. This is going to be a game that I am very excited for. This game, you got Chargers, who I am very, very, very high on the Chargers. We will get to that. We'll get to that in a couple minutes. I'm very high on the Chargers. So, I'm excited for this game. I'm very high on the Raiders as well. As you guys know, I really like the Devontae Adams move. I really like how the Chargers have been making moves for Justin Herbert to make him a better quarterback ever since he got drafted into the NFL. So without further ado, who's favored in the Las Vegas Raiders game?
The odds favor the Chargers over the Raiders by 3.5 points.
Chargers by 3.5. Okay. All right, we're going upset. Give me the Raiders by 3. 31-28, which I'm going to guess is the over. What's the over in the Chargers game?
The Chargers meet the Raiders tomorrow.
What's the over-under in the Chargers game?
The over-under for the Chargers-Raiders game is 52.0.
Wow, that's... Whoa. 31-28, 51. All right, cool. That's way... Man, that's way over. Way over. That's like a touchdown over. But I think it's going to go the way. I mean, Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. I mean, that's a very, very good offense over there. You know, Derek Carr and Devontae Adams. I think they're going to work out very well. I like that move. I mean, for the Chargers defense, they're going to have to worry about, like, figure out who to cover because there's so many playmakers on the offense. In Darren Waller, in Devontae Adams, in Hunter Renfrow, in Josh Jacobs, in... God, that team is stacked, right? Derek Carr, it's going to be his best year yet, I think. And the Raiders also have a good defense along with the Chargers, but I think these offenses are just very overpowered. Both of them. I mean, you got Austin Eckler who can carry on the Chargers offense at running back. You got Josh Jacobs. That's a good matchup. Fantasy players in this game, definitely go for Austin Eckler or Devontae Adams or Darren Waller. Or if you have the do, okay. Last year I played against this and it freaking pissed me off. I was playing against my cousin and he had Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Super, super good if you have that on your team. But God, is it the worst to play against? So I decided to do that. I wasn't able to do it. Actually, no, I could do it if I wanted to. But I have Devontae Adams in one of my leagues and Derek Carr. So I have Derek Carr in both my leagues, actually. Devontae Adams in one of them with Derek Carr. It's going to be interesting to see how that works. But, I mean, the quarterback gets the points every time it's thrown to a wide receiver. So if you have Devontae Adams and Derek Carr, and they have as strong of a connection as Aaron Rodgers and him did, then it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting for you if you have them both on your fantasy team. I mean, if you have Devontae Adams, I've noticed Derek Carr is pretty easy to get. Not a lot of people are high on him. So he might even be on your waivers right now. Or it might just be one simple text away. Hey, man, I'll trade you this for this. And you won't have to give up too much to pick up Derek Carr. I'm playing against Justin Herbert, which sucks tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to that. Justin Herbert, please don't screw me. I love Justin Herbert's one of my favorite quarterbacks in the NFL, but I have to play against him. I have to root against him for one day. It sucks. But hey, man, you know, for the fantasy dubs, right? A game that is also going to be very exciting is the 49ers along with the Bears. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of offense in this. George Kittle has officially been ruled out with a calf injury. I think that, you know, there's not going to be a lot of offense. It's Trey Lance's first game. So interest-wise, for me, I am excited to watch this, right? You got Trey Lance, and, you know, what is he going to do on the Niners? There's been so much talk about this dude all for the past 2 years, and he's finally getting a start to prove himself. It's against the Bears, but hey, you can still kind of glimpse out like what a player can do. The Bears, we can talk about them. I mean, they do have a new coach, I guess. No. But, yeah. Justin Fields, going into his second year in the NFL, I think things have potential to be better for him. I don't think the Bears are going to be any good. I mean, it's just because they're the Bears. I mean, they got work to do. Not a lot of offense, like I said, in this game. I'm definitely going to take the under, not knowing what it is. I'm definitely taking the Niners. So let's research, boys. Who is favored in the Niners-Bears game?
The odds favor the 49ers over the Bears by
6.5. Okay, we're taking them. We're taking them by 7. No. Give me. I feel like it's gonna be a really weird game. Give me the Niners 20, the Bears 16. What's the over under in the Bears Niners game?
The over-under for the Bears 49ers game is 40.5.
40.5. Yeah, that's pretty freaking low. I'm still taking the under. Is there gonna be more? Looking at that over under, like as we do it here, it's a fun of the show where we do the friend Siri to help us pick it. It's my tradition, all right. Because like for a blind person, like going through and like looking at the website, like looking at MGM takes a lot longer. Like, and obviously sometimes like I'll like prep for the show like way in advance and like the lines will change. So like, I just like to Google it. All right, I just like to do that real fast. Obviously it's gonna be the under. I'm still taking the under. I'm gonna roll with that. But that's a pretty low under. So like betting the over wouldn't be too far fetched, I think. I mean, 39 like that could easily like we're already like a couple points away from the over right there. That's a pretty low over under right there. Like that's kind of wild. Blindside Sports, Emmett Douglas with you, coming to you live from the Blindside Studios. Let's see if anyone has commented real fast. Nothing can be as good as last comment or last show's comment. Oh God, do we have something? Let's see. All right, cool. We don't have any comments, unfortunately. I guess my fame and glory is like over. I got the one comment, or the one like what was that? The 3 troll comments. I got those last episode, and I haven't gotten anything since. No, but I'm playing. Thank you all for supporting. And like I said, if you're watching this right now or later in the past, later in the future, see, like I'm like rusty, man. I'm not gonna lie, I was hanging out with the boys, stayed up pretty late. So if I'm stumbling on my words, didn't really sleep a lot. So that's kind of the thing there. I don't have any I do have, I'm blind, but I don't have any disabilities that affect my brain. All right, I know it, but Blindside Sports, Emmett Douglas with you guys. Now tomorrow is going to be a very interesting Sunday night game. I think the Cowboys play the Buccaneers, and we get to see is this whole Gisele Bündchen and Tom Brady thing, is it going to affect him on the field? I know it's week 1. I know. But will it affect him on the field? Will taking this 11-day absence affect him from the field? Because I'm not like, I think the Bucs are still going to win their division this year. I'm just, in terms of going far in the playoffs, I don't think they'll be going too far. I think the Cowboys, I think they have a very good week 1 tomorrow. The Cowboys always, look, we know what we expect with the Cowboys. Like, they're going to be a 500 team, and they're going to put a good fight up. Dak Prescott's going to have a good year, but they're not going to do much, if anything, in the playoffs, if you even make it. But let's see what the odds are. Who's favored in the Cowboys-Buccaneers game?
The odds favor the Buccaneers over the Cowboys by 2.5 points.
Buccaneers over Cowboys. Over under in the Buccaneers-Cowboys game.
The over-under for the Cowboys-Buccaneers game is 50.5.
50.5. Ooh, man. I'm taking the upset. I'm taking the Cowboys to pull it off by 10, at least. Let's go 38-28. The Cowboys are going to pull this one off. Chiefs Cardinals happens tomorrow. This is, I had to laugh, man. As a Seahawks fan, just seeing the Cardinals have to play the Chiefs for their first game, I just thought that was pretty amusing to me. So, I had to laugh at that. But we, this is another game that's going to be very interesting because we get to see, what's the Chiefs going to look like without Tyreek Hill? Is it a big drop off? Are they going to be fine? Did the Chiefs find that random weapon that they picked in like the 6th round, or like some random guy we've never heard of to come in and be the next Tyreek Hill? There's a lot of storylines here. Also, the Cardinals. I mean, they're dealing with a little bit of a lot of injury issues. Kyler Murray, like, what can he do? He's missing DeAndre Hopkins, I believe. Dale Moore's having some injury issues. Zach Ertz is I think he's either not. Hold on. I think like there's some injury troubles with our guy Zach Ertz over there. So, how's that gonna work for the Cardinals? Like, how are they gonna make offense and score points? Like that. That's the main thing that I'm worried about with them. I'm not worried about like, the Chiefs thing. Like, I don't know. I'm just not worried about like. Yeah, he's still questionable. Hold on. Zach Ertz could play on the snap count. All right. Who's favored in the Chiefs-Cardinals game?
Those in the know say that the Chiefs will defeat the Cardinals by 6.5 points.
6.5. Oh, I think it's gonna be more than that. What's the over/under in the Chiefs game?
The over/under for the Chiefs-Cardinals game is 53.5.
53 and that's an under. And that's going to be like the Chiefs by 11. I'm going to say 20. No, I'm going to give it. I'm going to take the under 31-17. Chiefs by 2 tutties. I think Mahomes is going to have a great game. I think Murray's going to play all right. The Chiefs are just missing a lot. And not seeing Zach Ertz not at full Zach Ertz not full percent is something that the Cardinals don't want to see, especially missing D-Hop for the time that they are. Emmett Douglas, Blindside Sports. We'll get back to these games here in a couple of minutes. But, obviously on Wednesday, last time I recorded a show, like literally around this time, we were talking about Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson was asking for a Deshaun Watson type contract from the Baltimore Ravens. And as you guys heard me say, I said, look, I think Lamar is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL right now. It's just I have an issue paying running quarterbacks the Deshaun Watson money. It's nothing against them. If Lamar was like a freaking stud throwing the ball, then okay, cool. I might give the guys back. And this is talking NFL, terms here. But I understand why the Ravens, why they held their ground. I do. Shout out Lamar for actually playing, improving himself. I respect that. I think, a lot of players would be holding out and going on Twitter. Lamar is here. He's playing, and he is ready to prove all of the doubters wrong and to get that contract. I think this is a good move by the Ravens, but I think you got to give the contract to Lamar next season if, obviously if he plays well, which I think Lamar is going to have a pretty good year. He's going to be playing mad. I mean, and obviously players play a lot better on their contract years. So I think Lamar is going to be playing very hungry for the bread. I think Lamar is going to be on another. I think Lamar is going to go crazy. I really do. I think Lamar's got a good year. If everyone stays healthy and works, he's getting. J.K. Dobbins is going to come back any day, if not tomorrow, with his from his knee injury. You get your running backs back. You have all this. You obviously have Mark Andrews. I mean, Mark Andrews is going to be there for you every second. But the Ravens, they are back, and you pay. You wait to pay Lamar Jackson. As much as for Lamar it sucks. Ravens, I respect it. Deshaun Watson to your money is a lot. And that was the issue, according to I saw it on Ian Rappaport's Twitter, is that it was very hard for them to both agree on a contract because the Ravens were making a football decision like, hey, man, we want to see a little more before you can pay Deshaun Watson money, because we generally don't give money like that. We the Ravens, we genuinely don't give out contracts like that. So you have to actually, you gotta be a stud. That's basically what they said, but they were trying to compromise and find a number in the middle that they could both, agree with. But unfortunately, the sides did not meet at an agreement. So the contract talks must go on. And another thing, obviously, that's different about this contract compared to like 95%. God, it maybe even higher. Like I don't know the actual stat about this, but compared to most other NFL players, the difference between this contract dispute or negotiation stages and others is that Lamar Jackson doesn't have an agent. It's basically Lamar and the Baltimore Ravens talking, not the agent and the Baltimore Ravens talking. So there's a lot more stuff to be worked out here. I think it's interesting. I was questioning why Lamar didn't have an agent at first, but hey, whatever works for you works for you, man. If he gets paid next year, cool. He gets paid next year without an agent like that. I can't be mad at that. I think that'd be cool to see, if I do say so myself. Emmett Douglas, Blindside Sports. I have not plugged any of my social medias here, so get me on Twitter at EmmettNoC04. If you want to tweet into the show or post in the comments, you are more than welcome to do that. Instagram, I'm at Blindside Sports 00. That's where you can get notified whenever I will be doing another show, which is going to be a lot here because football season is in full effect on this Saturday night. Blindside Sports 00 is the handle over there. I also post clips of stuff that we're talking about right now. My TikTok's at Blindside Sports 7. I specifically just post clips over there. I want to be more active on there. So, but with more that comes with more shows, right? More clips to post. So I want to be very active throughout all these social medias I just named to you guys throughout the season, especially on Sundays. All right. So especially Twitter. I'll probably post a couple of of my tweets over on Instagram, but you're not gonna get everything unless you go follow me on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter, tough, I guess. I'm not gonna be that guy. Make a new one just for me. I don't care that much. But if you want to, go ahead. Emmett Douglas, Blindside Sports now. Sorry, here Oh, okay. Sorry. Someone texted me about a show. All right, about this show. But let's hop over right into my playoff predictions. Obviously, you have your 3 wild card matchups. I'm not gonna go matchups. I'm just saying how it works. If you don't know, you have your 3 wild card matchups in each conference, the NFC and the AFC, obviously. And you have your one team that gets to the team that's at top of said conference that gets that bye week. And like last year, none of the bye week teams are in the championship. So, but yeah, without further ado, let's pick my playoff brackets. We'll start over in the AFC because look, that team is stacked. I didn't even pick records when I picked it. I think I did for the first episode. But who cares about divisions and all that? But the only thing that matters is a winner. But I think at top of the AFC is going to be the Buffalo Bills. Second, and now we're going into our wild cards, is going to be the Los Angeles Chargers. Third, that is going to be the Indianapolis Colts. And fourth, that is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals. So those are going to be the 4 division winner teams that make the playoffs. We got 3 more teams to pick here. Now, this is very hard, especially in the AFC. Because with the AFC, there's so many teams that are playoff-worthy teams. We'll get back to the picks momentarily, by the way, of the games going on in week 1. But the 3 teams that are going to make the playoffs in the AFC that we have left, the Raiders are going to make the playoffs. The Dolphins are going to make the playoffs. And the Chiefs are going to make the playoffs. 3 out of 4 teams in the AFC West are going to make the playoffs. And it sucks because you have teams that are just getting elite. Like the Ravens are going to be very close, right? Like I wouldn't be shocked if like the Dolphins or like the Raiders or the Chiefs or somebody switched with the Ravens. I won't be shocked. Like the Ravens are a very, very close call, along with the Tennessee Titans. Those are really the main calls. I mean, the Browns, I don't think are going to make it this year due to missing Deshaun Watson for 12 games, and they're going to go like 3-8. Like I was looking at the schedule, so like I don't think the Browns are going to make it. NFC, Rams, Eagles. Those are Rams, Eagles, Packers, Buccaneers, and then my three teams. We got the 49ers. They're definitely going to the playoffs. I think Trey Lance is going to work out his hiccups. And be a very effective starting quarterback. Also, I think the Saints are going to make the playoffs. And also, I think the Vikings or the Lions, they're going to be fighting for it, man. I had the Lions winning second in their division. But for my final playoff spot, man, this is hard. Like it truly is a very hard decision here because like, look, there's like obviously you got the Rams, the Packers, the Eagles, you got the Buccaneers, who like I don't think they're going division just because Tom Brady. You got the Niners who are making the playoffs. Like you got like 5-6 teams already right there. It's hard, right? It's like crazy. But like my last selection in the playoffs, like I go back and forth on these like all the time because it could be the Cowboys, right? That's a fair possibility. Like there's a good chance that the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs. There's also a good chance that like the Cardinals do something stupid and pull off. Like there's not as much like on the fence teams, but I think the Cowboys are going to pull off that last wild card. Hold on. Is that the same brackets from last? Oh, we got the Saints. Okay. Like it the Cowboys I think could pull it off. I think they probably end up like doing it. The Lions are also one of my teams that could make the playoffs. Lions and Cowboys, that's actually a hard decision for me. Because I picked the Lions to win second in the division. But that's another one where I'm like, oh, the Vikings, man. The Vikings could be the Vikings are a force of nature. You got to watch out for them. But enough wilding to pick my division, my 7th spot in the wild card for the NFC. You know what? We are taking the Detroit Lions because look, they're second in the division. I think I'm so high on the Lions. I like Jared Goff. Like the team is stacked around. Like they're not stacked, but they have good playmakers around them. Like we saw them get their crap together at the second half of the end of the last season, and they were doing their thing. All right, so let's go over to Super Bowl picks. I actually think it's going to be Battle of LA. I think it's going to be the Rams and the Chargers in the Super Bowl. I think like Chargers and Bills are actually going to be in the AFC Championship and play a very close game. In terms of NFC Championships, I think that's probably going to be Saints or Rams. I'm very interested to see like what the Saints do. I think that's a team we're not really like people are starting to just talk about because like when Michael Thomas is healthy, he's good. Jameis, like the Saints are very good at having weapons around them and like being successful. Like it's their strength. I don't know what it is, but the Saints are stacked at it. They really are. Um. So yeah, I have the Lions making the playoffs, and that was a hard decision because like it's gonna come down to like the final week. I think between the Lions and the Cowboys. I do think it's gonna come down to the final week between the Lions and the Cowboys. So like it's gonna be a very hard decision, and like it was a hard decision, but it's gonna be a very, very fought through battle for that last playoff spot in the NFC. Both the NFC and the AFC, especially the AFC though. Like that's the one that I'm worried about by getting some of my picks wrong. Like because man, like it's so unpredictable, so unpredictable. Who's the Colts play tomorrow? Indianapolis Colts game tomorrow.
The Colts meet the Texans tomorrow at 10.
I'm not gonna pick that because that's gonna be a blowout. Oh yeah, a couple more fantasy players I like as we're coming back, to open the rest of this bundle. Man, oh man. Aaron Jones, bro. Aaron Jones is definitely gonna be a good, solid pickup. If you don't have him, or if you have him, start him. A couple fantasy guys, like because the Packers are gonna be running. They're gonna be a run team. I think without Devontae Adams, they're gonna be focusing a lot more on Aaron Jones and getting him involved. And another fantasy guy that I really think is gonna I have in my lineup in both my leagues. I think it's gonna be a good one for tomorrow. Is Amon-Ra St. Brown in that Lions-Eagles game. Emmett Douglas, Blindside Sports, the Steelers and the Bengals tomorrow with Mitch Trubisky at starting quarterback. I didn't want to pick the Texans one. I was kind of trolling, but who's favored in the Steelers game?
Those in the know say that the Bengals will defeat the Steelers by 7 points.
What's the over-under in the Bengals game?
The over-under for the Bengals-Steelers game is 44.5.
44.5. Okay. I mean, I think Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow are going to come back very, very connected. I mean, the Bengals made improvements, and that's the weird thing. That's the weirdest thing about it. They made improvements. They're gonna they got the offensive line figured out. It seems to look like Joe Burrow shouldn't be under too much distress. It's gonna be a very good season for the Bengals as they go to they're at home against the Steelers. I think it's gonna be a 38-20 win. I think obviously the Bengals are going to be balling the heck out. All right, to put it in a cleaner term for the younger audience out there. Emmett Douglas, Blindside Sports, coming to you from the Blindside Studios. We got the Dolphins and the Patriots tomorrow. Who's favored in the Dolphins-Patriots game?
The odds favor the Dolphins over the Patriots by 3.5 points.
Dolphins-Patriots. I think Tua's going to come a little rusty with Tyreek Hill. I think that's going to take some time to build the connection. I'm going to take the Patriots plus the 3.5. Who's favored in the Patriots? See? What's the over-under in the Patriots game?
The over-under for the Patriots-Dolphins game is 46.0.
46. Ooh. Under. No, over. Give me... No, it's 24-21. That's what I'm going to say. Actually, 3-point game in favor of the Patriots. So that's obviously the under. So 24-21, baby, is going to be the final score of that affair. That's going to be a good game. That's going to be a pretty solid game. And Emmett Douglas, Blindside Sports, coming to you from the Blindside Studios. Now, Bills-Rams was a very interesting game. I just want to say this. It was 31-10. I get it was a blowout. All this talk about the Rams, I literally said this on my last show because people are like starting to while out and be like, the Rams are done. The Rams are nothing. The Rams are crap. The Rams are garbage. The Rams suck. Look, man. I hate the Rams being a Seahawks fan, but we're not even to Sunday yet. This is week 1 of the NFL season. It takes a week or 2 or 3 or 4 for the teams to know, for us to know, all right, Super Bowl hangover, cool. I picked the Rams to go to the freaking Super Bowl because I think it's going to happen, right? It was one game against the Bills. The Bills are a freaking good team. So, and it's week 1. Like, this is where my picks could go wrong and come back and bite me in the butt. Week 1, this could be like either my worst or my best week because it's hard to kind of grasp everything in week 1. You don't especially like the new acquisitions and all that. Now let's pick a couple more here. Another one I'm excited for is Baker Mayfield going back to the Browns. Who's favored in the Browns-Panthers game?
Those in the know say that the Panthers will defeat the Browns by 1 point.
I actually agree with that. What's the over-under in the Browns game?
The over-under for the Browns-Panthers game is 42.0.
Something we have... God, that's probably an over. That's a low over-under. But something that, with Baker, when Baker comes with a chip on his shoulder, he comes with a chip on his shoulder. I think Baker is going to wreck the Browns. I think Baker's going to come. He is going to be angry. He is going to be just in full on, just angry, just mad, ready to go, throw the ball up in the air, touchdown, he's ready to play. I think the Browns are taking a big old sloppy L in this one, 24-14. I think Baker and Christian McCaffrey are going to have a very interesting game. I think they're going to both play very well. I think the Panthers are going to figure out that they're a running team, kind of like what the Browns were in 2020, where you just freaking feed Christian McCaffrey or and then do your little pass outs to Christian McCaffrey. But it's week 1. And the thing is with McCaffrey and obviously the Panthers and Baker Mayfield is, can we trust McCaffrey to stay healthy for a full season? I mean, it hasn't really happened in a while, so you kind of have to do all that and think, all right, can we trust McCaffrey to stay healthy? Because if he gets injured, that's a big effect on Baker. I personally think. So you got to hope he stays healthy, right? Who's favored in the Ravens game?
The odds favor the Ravens over the Jets by 6.
Yep. Over under in the Ravens game.
The over-under for the Ravens-Jets game is 44.0.
44.0. I'm taking the over because this could be like a 41-10 game in terms of the Ravens. The bum-ass Jets are not. They're getting blown out week 1. Lamar literally just had to deal with this whole contract thing. Lamar's coming angry too. Lamar and Baker are going to be both coming in very hot and ready to go. Ready to prove every doubter wrong, man. They are coming in ready. Who's favored in the Titans game tomorrow?
The odds favor the Titans over the Giants by 5.5 points.
Titans-Giants tomorrow. Kayvon Thibodeau I think he's officially ruled out. The rookie, star kind of guy over there. But it's week 1. Something just tells me to pick the upset. What's the over-under in the Giants game?
Which sport?
What's the over-under in the Titans game?
The over-under for the Titans-Giants game is
44.0. Oh, that could... All right. All right. Yeah. Give me the Titans 20 and the Giants 13, and the Giants 20, the Titans 13. Excuse me. We're taking that upset, and we're rolling with it, and we're taking the under in that one. That's gonna be a very, very interesting one right there. I don't think there'll be a lot of blowouts. If anything, we're gonna see a lot more sloppy football because it's week 1, and I just don't think there's gonna be a lot of blowouts. Obviously, I think there's gonna be 1 or 2 the bum ass Jets. Did we pick the Colts game already? Who's favored in the Colts game? I think they put the Commandos. Oh, Texans. Oh yeah, we didn't want to pick that because that's gonna be another blowout right there. I'm not gonna go for the over under. So that's probably a 35 to 13 or 35 to 14 game right there in favor of the Indianapolis Colts and Matt Ryan's first start down there. But you never know what could happen. That's the beauty of week 1, everybody. My name is Emmett Douglas. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We are going to have a lot more of these shows out. Stay tuned. at 11:15 Pacific, 1:15 Central, 12:15 Mountain, 2:15 Eastern, 8:15 Hawaiian. That's like all the time zones I know. On Tuesday, September 13th, because guess who's joining me? I'm going to review it here. I'm going to be reviewing it tomorrow on social media. But you guys are getting the first pickings to guess who I'm interviewing. 3, 2, 1. Anthony Gargano. So that's going to be very hype. Anthony Gargano works for like Fox Sports Radio and the 975 Fanatic out there in Philadelphia. Very, very diehard Philadelphia sports fan. I'm talking diehard. I'm super excited to talk to Cuz. That's going to be a fun show. So you guys want to check that one out. That might be like there might be some basketball questions in there about the Sixers too. So there's gonna be a lot to talk about with Cuz. I'm very excited. So stay tuned for that one. All right, trust me, because that's gonna be a good. That's gonna be a very good show. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, do all the above. That has been it. And I'm trying to like end this live stream here.